Hey guys, Ken Kaplan here. Today I'm going to ride this classic 1970 Harley Davidson M65. It is in stunning 100% original condition. This is an absolute survivor, and it runs like brand new, because basically it is like brand new. It's got 700 miles on it. This came from the Clint Lauren collection out of Thousand Islands, New York, up by the Canadian border. Clint was a collector of the AMF era Harley Davidsons. He had a large collection of these, close to 30 of them, and this is one of the real cream puffs in the collection. And it's a little two-stroke, and it has a 3-speed transmission. It rolls really nicely. It zooms right along. Little 50cc motor. We'll cruise up the sidewalk here. Ask yourself, when's the last time you've seen one of these? It shifts a little funny. The manual, it's a 1 up, 2 down, which is not something you're going to see every day. And the manual even cautions that it's a little difficult getting it into neutral, so it goes pretty good though. I'm doing 30 miles an hour right now. That was 3rd gear. I'm in 2nd gear now. The transmission is a little funky. It does pop out of gear if you're not careful, and sometimes it's hard to shift to 2nd. It goes right to 3rd, so we had the whole thing apart. Everything's within tolerance, so it's just the way they are. They're in even the manual. I'll show you the manual. It says they shift kind of funny, but it does work, and it runs. The motor's tight, 700 miles. We did a compression test on it. We put a lot of work into this thing. We put 20 hours of labor into it between the detail shop and the service technician. I weigh about 220 pounds. It hauls my big butt around, no problem. And as far as we know, this thing is 100% original. It's fun to ride. It's light, easy to work on. It's a 2-cycle engine. And it's got some really cool features on it. I'll point out to you in a second. Check out the speedometer on this thing, Kenny. The Harley Davidson logo. So there's 3 positions on the key. This one is off. This will give you the taillight, but you have to be careful if you leave it on the taillight. If you're on the side of the road or something, it will kill the battery. And this here is on. And the Kickstarter is kind of something like you'll never see on another bike. It kickstarts forward. Watch this. Starts right up. It has a center stand. It has the buddy pegs on the back, although I guess if it was too lighter, people would pull you no problem. M985 is the number on the engine. Original paint everywhere. Original tires. Even has the original grips on it. So, very cool piece. What'd you say? We'll go over the work order. There's a lengthy work order. Mark worked on this thing for on and off for a couple of weeks, and Doc had it on the detail bench. And he's very careful not to paint anything on the bike. Left the paint all original. Let's bring it in and we'll go over the work order. Again, the shift pattern is 1 up, 1 up, and 3 down, 2 down, and it's almost 50 years old. As a matter of fact, in a few months, this January 1st, this bike will be 50 years old. Ask yourself, where are you going to find another 50-year-old Harley Davidson M65 that runs beautifully and is 100% original? My guess is you're not going to. I have not seen one of these at any of the MCA shows or any of the events we go to. It's just a rare piece, so definitely a cool piece to add to your collection. The engine sounds nice and tight. Sounds like brand new. My guess is it's probably running exactly the way it did when it was brand new, which is perfect. It runs great. I have a few pages of information I'll go over on the work order with you. Let me put it on the center stand. I'll grab that, and we can go over everything. Nice light, classic Harley Davidson. So I'm gonna take the helmet cam off here and switch over to the regular cam.
Actually, you can leave it on if we have the mics on.
Oh, you want to leave it on because the mic's on? Okay, cool. All right, give me the work order.
There you are.
We have here, this is from the service department. The total hours put into the bike was 20 hours. The couple notes on here, the hand grips, these are the original Harley Davidson hand grips, and they are split. He said they were split somewhere right here. Yeah, there's a little crack right here, and there's a little crack on the bottom right here of the grips, but they're original, so I wouldn't mess with them. They're 50-year-old original rubber grips. And the tires are the original factory tires, what it came from the factory with, which I believe are Pirellis, and they do have some checking on them, but they're not. They're soft and they work. So where are you going to find one with original tires? I'd leave it alone. So the first thing we did when we got it, we did a compression test. It checked out a perfect 125 psi. We put a brand new spark plug in it. We cleaned the fuel tank, flushed it out, and soda blasted the interior. Cleaned and tested the petcock. We performed a complete carburetor clean and rebuild of the OE carb kit and replaced the fuel line. So the entire fuel system was completely gone through. We changed the gear oil. Electrically, we installed a brand new battery. The correct size is only available on eBay. Yuasa didn't make this size battery. It was special ordered on eBay from a vendor. We put a new ground wire on the battery. We repaired and resoldered the broken wire on the rectifier coil and cleaned all the connections at the fuse box. A lot of electrical stuff was gone through. We disassembled and cleaned all the contacts inside the ignition switch and the left handlebar switch. We tested the coil, cleaned the connections, replaced the plug cap. We also removed the flywheel for access to clean the points and set the gap timing, cleaned the flywheel and the points. So basically a complete restoration and preservation services was done on the bike. So the taillight bulb was replaced. The headlamp and horn do work. The engine runs beautifully, and we set the idle speed, the mixture screw, set the tire pressures, adjusted and cleaned the chain. We also went through the shifter assembly because it shifts really funny, and we did some research, and apparently they're all like that. So we disassembled and cleaned and greased the shift pedal bracket and the pawl mechanism. First gear is all the way up, neutral's between first and second, and the shifting is very temperamental. It's not easy to find the correct gear, but with a little practice you can. So we printed this off of the Harley Davidson manual. Kenny, you got to show them this because it actually says right on here, shift pattern, first and the up, neutral is down, second and then third. Neutral position is not positively indicated by a stop or notch, but can be readily found with practice. So right in the manual it's telling you it's not easy to find neutral. It's not. I found it no problem once I got the hang of it, but it's a real funny shifting. If you're not careful, you can shift into third instead of second. So but once you get the hang of it, it's fine. So the carburetor, check out the choke here on this, Kenny. The way the choke works on the carburetor, it's a Delorto, the original Delorto carburetor, is you push this down all the way, and then when you turn the throttle, it disengages it. So, and this is a tickler like you would see on any Delorto carb, that area. Don't push it till it overflows. Just push it a couple times to get some gas in there. She'll fire right up. You don't want to flood it. So, quite a bit of work was done to it. It was detailed top to bottom, front to back. The chrome was polished. The paint was cleaned and waxed. We made careful attention not to paint anything on the bike. We wanted to leave it exactly the way it came from Clint, which was what we believe is the original factory paint. I'm 99% sure this is original factory paint. I'm sure the tires and grips and everything are. As far as parts that aren't original on the bike, it has a new spark plug, and a new battery, and a new fuel line, and a new plug cap. That's it. Other than that, it's 100% original. If you're bringing this to an Antique Motorcycle Club of America show for originality, I believe this would score 100 points. I could be wrong. I'm an AMC judge myself, AMCA judge. And we're all human. It's a human decision, but to judge it as that. But as far as near as I can tell, it's 100% original. Kenny, is there anything you would like to add about the bike?
We haven't had an M65 ever.
They're not going to be able to hear you unless you get closer to the microphone. But
so we've never had an M65 Rapido through the shop. So this is the first one. It's got the
Yeah, out of the hundreds of AMFs we've had, this is the first M65.
the coffin style tank, just like
Yep, the coffin style tank is sharp. It has a cafe style to it.
classic styling and extremely rare to see.
Extremely rare to see, and again, 787 miles, just professionally gone through. The tank was cleaned up beautifully by Mark with the process I mentioned earlier. It does have some patina on it on the paint job. As you can see, it's a 50-year-old paint job, and there is a little crack in the seat right here, but it's original. You know, it's a very nostalgic-looking piece. Look at the motor. The aluminum's been cleaned up and polished on it. It's just a beautiful piece. It's like a little Rolex watch. Something that would be great to add to your collection. Love to keep it here at the museum. If you want to leave it here, please do. We have a bunch of events here this year. 6 3-day events. Check out the New England Motorcycle Museum Facebook page. If you haven't liked and subscribed to this channel, please hit the like button, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. It's free, and it helps us out, helps us build our brand. Check this out over here. Show them the sign for the Brewfest. May 5th, we have a Brewfest here. I have 40 microbreweries coming here. Rain or shine, we have a huge circus tent we're putting up over there. If you want to come to the museum, that's a great day. You've got tons of food, tons of microbreweries, and of course, hundreds of vintage and classic motorcycles to look at here at the museum. If you want to leave this one here, we'd love to keep it. If you want to ship it, we'll ship it anywhere in the country for you. Again, we have not seen another one of these to compare it to. So certainly right from the Clint Lauren collection, this was in his private museum. We just went through it and resurrected it and did a full bevy of preservation services. It needs nothing. It's not going to get any better than it is right now. Take it, put it in your museum, put it on display, or ride it, enjoy it. Good luck bidding on it. Thanks for listening, and God bless America.